This one is for my brother Kurt and my sister Molly. I wanted to talk about our parents when they were young, when I was a very small child. Before Kurt, you were there, and when you were just a baby. It was the three of us, Mom, Dad, and I, and they were so in love. I don't know that you guys remember that. How happy they were together. How excited they were to see each other. I remember we didn't go to the fair very often, the state fair. The Iowa State Fair used to be a really big deal. And we didn't go. Mom didn't like it. Mom didn't like the crowds. But one year we went, and in the evening, and so I don't remember where. Dad went off someplace briefly, and Mom and I went around and we were doing rides or something. I know we rode on something. I don't remember what it was. And then we were looking at things, and I knew that she said, we're not going to look at the farm animals, because I wanted to go and look at the animals, but no, we're not going to go look at the pigs, prize or no. So, but then we came across Dad before we were supposed to. We had set up a time where we were going to meet him, and there was just the light in his eyes and the light in her eyes. That I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if by the time you were really cognizant of what was going on, it seems to me, because there were four of us, the strain of having 4 kids and not a lot of money, and him working and traveling, he was gone, traveling, selling his business, put strains on them. But they were so happy and so goofy. They did things that were absolutely goofy. I remember a time, and I know you were there, Kurt. I don't know if Sean and Molly were born yet, but it's stupid, goofy. Mom went to the bathroom, and she came out of the bathroom, and like a minute later, Dad came into the room, and he said, and he looked at her and said, "Did you just go poop?" And she was like, you don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. And she goes, what? Did you just go poop? She said, yes, what? And he goes, I knew it. Come look. And he pulled her into the bathroom, and he'd put a little green olive stuffed with a palmetto, and so put toothpicks on it and a few little, little herby things on it, and he said, look, you even poop cute. Just silly stuff. And it made her laugh, and it made me laugh, and I think that Kurt was there because he laughed too, and he was small, but even he could tell that it was silly and funny. And they would tease me together. I remember I got on a thing about smells when I was very small, and so at one point, I don't remember why, Mom suddenly brought up and something about, and then the world came together, and they saw your father, and they smelled him, and they went, this is the smell a daddy should have. This is the smell that a daddy should have. And I was like, his smell? Okay. Are you sure? And Dad goes, yeah. What do you think about that? And I didn't want to talk about it. It was like, I fell on the spot. I didn't have anything good to say about it. And they pressed me, and now I remember the giggles, but I didn't then, because I had to say something negative, to my dad. And they pressed, and finally I said, well, I don't know. They said, what do you think? Do you think that this is the smell that a dad should have. And I said, well, to the rest of the world, no, I mean, Dad, they don't know or love you, so they just think you stink. And they laughed. And then they showed me that that was silly, and that they were just teasing me. That's how they taught me about being teased, and that being teased is a part of life. But anyway, they were so happy. And I don't know that you know that. And I also want to say, I watched this show called Vida. I think it's on Showtime. And in the last episode, the eldest sister told the younger sister that she'd done something really, really well. And the youngest sister had waited and waited for her to say something like that to her, to acknowledge that she was doing good things, growing and achieving things. And it made the younger sister cry. So I wanted to say to you that I see you too. I see you, Molly. I see that you are incredibly well organized and funny and tolerant and loving to your children and to your husband. And not that you don't have your problems. All of us are kind of short-tempered and impatient, but you're far more patient than I am. You're a mother. You have to be. And Kurt, you are an excellent father. And you're a Christian man, and I consider myself Christian. I believe that I am saved. But I'm not like you. I don't know that I could be as good a father as you are. I know I could deal with the babies. I was in the church nursery when there were tons of babies, and I worked for an organization briefly called, it was young moms in West Des Moines brought their children. I watched the children while the young moms talked about being young moms and all the stresses and the things that they went through. And they had little classes, and it was about 45 minutes. And I was one of the people that watched their kids. And so I changed diapers. And I can do that. Their poopy diapers are not fun. And there was a kid in one of those groups, beautiful boy, beautiful little boy, and pretty sweet-tempered. But his poops were from the devil. Oh my God, they were huge and stinky and all over the place. And because I was not a regular person there, I was just kind of like a temp there, and if they need me, when he pooped, nobody wanted to do it. So, and they would do it. I'm not saying that they didn't, but I volunteered to change him a lot because when I was there, because I felt that that's something that I could do to show that I was part of the team. So I waded through the poop. That's teamwork. Anyway, I want you to know that I see you and I appreciate you and your many blessings that you have given me and to your families. And another thing that I think that, I don't know if he ever told you this, Kurt, but my dad, when I was little, just a little boy, told me that I should never feel ashamed about saying, I love you. Now, I haven't said it to someone outside the family ever. I never was brave enough. And I've only been in love twice. And both times with straight guys, because I'm foolish. But that it's for the time, the early 60s, and the type of man that he was, I think that was a phenomenal thing that he did for me. And it's my failure, not his, that I was not able to go on and do that. So, anyway, I wish that you had seen them when they were really young together. And this is not to take away from Darla, my dad's second wife. I think she made him a better person, something Mom could not do. No matter how much they loved each other, sadly, love is not enough, And they stopped trying. They fell into, they fell into the Me Too generation, I think before the Me Too generation got there, actually. They were divorced in 1968, so, and it was ugly and mean, but once upon a time, they were so in love. And I wish that you had seen that. And I wish that I have told you that I love you and that I admire you and that you are doing good.